નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી. Standard 10th, Subject Science, Chapter 4, Carbon and its Compounds. So, dear students, in the last video we have discussed the bonding, carbon bonding, the covalent bond. Okay. So, today we will see versatile nature of carbon. Versatile means what? Having varied uses or many functions. See, carbon is the only the element capable of doing or capable of making many compounds. So you know that in the periodic table 118 elements are there. But carbon is only the one compound. See, all other elements unitedly forming how much compounds? More than that, carbon is alone can make the compound. So that is why carbon is called as versatile nature. Okay, what's the idea now? So unlike character or unique ability, you are saying. Now, we have seen that the formation of the covalent bonds by the sharing of the electrons. See, by sharing the electrons, covalent bond is forming various elements and compounds. We have also seen the structure of simple carbon compounds like methane. Okay. Now, the numbers of carbon compounds whose formula are known to chemists was recently estimated to be millions. See, large number of compounds. The out numbers by a large number of margin compounds formed by all other elements to put together. This already I told you. So then, the question arises, dear students, what is the special property of the carbon? Okay, carbon, why it shows like this such a special property? What is that? So, the reason because the two factors noticed in the case of the carbon. So, what are those factors? The first one, the catenation. Catenation. See, the nature of the covalent bond enables carbon to form a large number of compounds. The two factors behind that, first one is catenation and second one is tetravalency. Okay, see what is? See, carbon has the unique ability, unique ability means unlike characters, to form bonds with other atoms of carbon, giving rise to a large number of compounds or giving rise to a large number of molecules. So this property is called as catenation. See, I will show you. For example, this is the carbon. Okay, like this carbon. The bonding with another carbon. See, bonding with another carbon. So bonding with another carbon. So like this, we are making large number of molecules. So forming large number of compounds. Okay, this is we are saying catenation. We are saying these compounds may have long chains of carbon. So like this way, long chains of carbon, and these compounds may have long chains of carbon, branched chains of carbon also. See, branched chain means, for example, here like this, and here like this. See, like this way, branched also. Okay. And in addition that, carbon atoms may be linked to single bond here. In addition that, even carbon atoms arranged in the rings, in the ring formation. See, like this ring means like this. See, it shows like this ring formation. See, like this way, ring formation. Okay, so these characters. So compounds of carbon. See, in addition that, carbon atoms may be linked with the single, double or triple bond. See, carbon shows double or triple bond also. Double or triple bond. See, like this way, carbon shows single bond or even double bond or even triple bond. See, like this way. See, like this, single bond, double bond, triple bond. So, like this, which are linked only a single bond between the carbon atoms. Between the carbon atoms. Now here two headings we are studying. What is saturated compounds and what is unsaturated compounds. The compounds are carbon which are linked by only a single bond between the carbon atoms. Only a single bond between the carbon atoms. This is called as saturated compounds. The compounds of carbon having double or triple bonds. So like this, double or triple bonds between their carbon atoms are called as unsaturated compounds. Okay, got the ideas? Now, no other element exhibit the property of catenation. But here, one more element is that the excellent C, the carbon compounds, silicon. See, what is that? Silicon is this, it gives large number of compounds. So this gives the competition to the carbon. Okay. Silicon forms compounds with hydrogen which have chains up to 7 or 8 atoms. This is also shows up to 7 or 8 atoms. See, no other elements but only the silicon shows or gives large number of compounds. See, like this way, it is also gives large number of compounds up to 7 or 8 atoms. But these compounds are very reactive. But these compounds shows what they are forming, they are very reactive. So due to this, they are unstable and can't store and keep also. But the carbon compound is or bond is very strong, hence they are stable and can be stored and keep. So this is the difference between the silicon and the carbon. So that is why carbon exists a large number of compounds. So this gives us the large number of compounds with many carbon atoms linked to each other. So this is the first point of making the large number of compounds. Now the second point, that tetravalency. You know that carbon has 6 atoms. Say carbon has 6 atoms. In the outermost, what will be there? 4 electrons will be there. So that is what I am saying. That is why carbon shows tetravalency. You are saying because carbon has 4 electrons in the outermost orbit, or valence electrons. You are saying. Since carbon has valency of 4, it is capable of bonding with the 4 other atoms of carbon or atoms of some other monovalent bond. Say, for example, say, due to this nature, how it is you say, carbon has 4 arms, carbon, say like this is, say like this, 4 arms. Either here it is holding with other atoms, holding with either it may be hydrogen, or it may be chlorine, or even sulfur, or many other elements. But if it gives, or if it holds carbon, what happens? You see carbon here, and again 3 more bonds. See like this. And if it holds again 3 more bonds. So like this way, making a large number of compounds. Compounds are carbon are formed even with other elements like oxygen, hydrogen, sulfur, chlorine, or many other elements, giving rise to compounds with specific properties which depend upon the elements other than the carbon present in the molecule. Okay, due to this tetravalency nature, carbon shows large number of compounds. And the other reason also, again the bonds that carbon forms the most other elements are very strong. Here the carbon bonds, that is very strong, making this exceptionally stable. On the reason formation, the reason due to this, one reason is that for the formation of strong bonds by carbon is because of its small size. See, carbon makes such a large number of compounds. The reason because carbon shows small shell. See, you know that carbon atomic structure. So only the 2 shell will be there. Only the 2 shell. So due to this, here nucleus will be there. And suppose here outermost orbit electrons. And this is combines with another. So electrons. These distances to the nucleus is very near. So that is why. So carbon shows its small size. This enables the nucleus to hold on to the shared pair of electrons very strongly. So due to this, they can share these electrons very strongly because these electrons are very nearer to the nucleus. So due to this, so carbon shows what you are saying, the strong attraction between with the other elements. The bonds formed by other elements, for the bonds formed by the elements having the bigger atom size. See, this is the carbon, this is shows the small structure. But if it is any other element shows the bigger size, what the problems? They are much weaker. The bond between them is much weaker. So that is why this is the benefit got the carbon. So that is why carbon forms a large number of compounds. Okay? Sometimes asking the question, why the carbon more or make large number of compounds? The reason because is one is catenation and second is tetravalency and another one is strong bond formation due to the small size. So these are the reasons giving benefit to the carbon. Okay, next one, organic compounds. So organic compounds with the two characteristic features seen in the carbon. The two characteristic features seen in the carbon. So that is tetravalency and catenation. Put together gives rise to a large number of compounds. So this makes or this helps to make the carbon large number of compounds. See, many have the same non-carbon atom or group of atoms attached to different carbon chains. These compounds are natural substances initially extracted to form the compounds that we are calling organic compounds. So in the beginning, you see, these compounds were initially extracted from the natural substances, and it was thought that these carbon compounds, or they are called organic compounds, this will be formed within the living system. These are formed within the living system. So that is, it was postulated due to the vital force is necessary for that formation. So vital force or natural force is believed, the people believe, see, from the natural substances like plants, animals, coal and petroleum also compounds can be formed. That is, you are saying the organic compounds. But it is possible only the forming the living system only. But this that is postulated also that vital force is required. Vital force means you are saying natural force required. But later one of the men, Friedrich Wöhler in the 1828, he prepared urea from the ammonium cyanide organic compound. He prepared urea, the name is given urea from the ammonium cyanide. Okay, so man-made organic compound. Got the idea now? But carbon compounds accept carbides, but carbon compounds accept carbides or oxides of carbon like CO2, CO3, carbonate, CO3, and hydrogen carbonate, ammonium, sodium hydrogen carbonate or calcium hydrogen carbonate. These are all will be not studied under the organic chemistry. Say, for example, if anybody is asking CO2 comes in the organic chemistry, no. Sodium carbonate comes in the organic chemistry, no. Except you have to remember carbides, oxides of carbon, carbonate and hydrogen carbonate are not studied or not comes in the organic chemistry. Okay, got the idea, students? Okay. So these are the things you have to go through this, whatever we have discussed today's ones. And we will meet in the next video, saturated and unsaturated carbon compounds. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us.